Hello and welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry, your guide for this enlightening journey. Stay with us. There's much ahead to inform and inspire.
Say goodbye to the paper trail. Your motor vehicle registration certificate has gone fully digital. No more stickers, no more paper clutter, just one thing you'll need: a valid email address. It's faster, it's safer, it's smarter.
Thanks for staying with us. As the world marks the International Day for the Remembrance of the Slave Trade and its abolition, we journey into the history of Maroon Town and discover how the resilient spirit of the Maroons continues to shape the daily lives of residents in Charlestown.
The sound of the abang, the infectious beat of the drum, the effortless moves of the hips.
Welcome to Charlestown Maroon Community.
They have been here for centuries, inheriting cultural expressions, a lifestyle that continuously mesmerizes locals and foreigners alike.
That the history of the Maroons, we show them. They show them and how proud they are at their history. It's very interesting to see how they survive for the British.
Jamaican Maroon descendants have a rich history: freedom, self-sufficiency, pride, the warrior spirit, family, spirituality. It is a legacy they mean to preserve for their children and children's children. A journey to Charlestown, one of Jamaica's major Maroon communities, reveals this cultural continuity in the architecture of the town.
Even though the entrance is small, this is where the Maroons would escape when being chased by the British.
Thatched roofs are still there, if not quite for dwelling purposes anymore. Living off the land is a Maroon staple. Today, subsistence farming remains a preoccupation for both the men and women in these communities. Passed down through the generations, self-sufficiency for the Maroons means survival. Being independent is indispensable.
The thrust of the Maroon Council under my tenure is to really use the culture, the heritage, what our foreparents left us, what our ancestors left us, to drive economic development. And it's been rewarding because really and truly so much is happening. We have a Savoyard, which you'll see, we have a museum.
In Charlestown, Savoyard embodies a consciousness of the economic value in preserving and showcasing the Maroon culture. So young, old, men, women, all play a part in teaching visitors what it means to be a Maroon, yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
It's all right. Down here is a nice spot. We're going to clean it up. We have a sound system. We're going to play music and try to do something of our own. We're heading towards building up a proper kitchen, a proper bathroom, storeroom and everything. Further on, we need 2 rooms that people can come, and if they don't want to go back home at the same time, they can have it to rest.
Food and drink is important to the Maroon way of life. The intricacies of jerking a wild hog on pimento wood must be done deftly. And for those wanting a taste of this culinary culture, the people of Charlestown are preserving their unique talents through a food and winemaking company and Riverside Lounge.
When we do have people that make buster, it's showing entrepreneurship, people who want to own their own business.
How about a paki stuffed with bami, pork, callaloo, or even seasoned ackee, packaged and ready for sale? And then there's the practice of concocting juices from available food items.
It's good because even the men, they had 2 special wines that they come for, peanut and goon.
Education in a Maroon village is something that takes place both within and outside the community. Many children are sent into the wider Jamaican community for schooling. When they return home, parents and grandparents are there to impart the knowledge of their African ancestry. The children, some of whom are given African names, are taught how to cook on wood fire, dance to the rhythm, and use the drums for not only entertainment purposes, but more importantly, as a means of communicating. Hard work and education are crucial, but so too is recreation, like relaxing by the river. Maroons in today's society are definitely not evading their culture. The Maroons then and their descendants now are embracing their culture. 14-year-old Shamara Smith is proud of her background and readily makes herself available to be trained as a tour guide.
I'm quite comfortable being a Maroon. Yeah, I feel good. I'm proud about my culture. It's good because it kind of helped me in school. When I do history, I kind of go ahead of the class.
Here is some information. If you think Maroon is in your family root, check out these surnames.
The following is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
I appeal to the young man and the young woman on the corner who is wanting a job but don't know where a job is, or may have gone for a job interview and was not successful, and then leaves with the opinion that there is no space for me in this growing economy. I need you. Your country needs you. Your economy needs you. The Caymanas Special Economic Zone needs you. You are a critical element in the growth of this country. And this administration, through the Heart Trust NSTA, we will find you, we will support you, we will assist you in getting trained and getting employed so that you can claim your share in the prosperity that Jamaica is experiencing.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
They say the heart tells our most powerful stories. Media practitioner Rosemary Murray-Tingling takes us inside her own, recounting the frightening moments of a heart attack and the determination that carried her through to survival.
When I swallowed the cheesecake, I felt a burning on my chest. And I said, what was that? I said, I wonder if it's what I had for lunch today.
That was the first sign that something was wrong for theatre and media practitioner Rosemary Murray-Tingling, who had a heart attack in 2017. Little did she know that while she was hanging out at a friend's home and enjoying some delicious food, that disaster would strike. And nothing could have prepared her for what came next.
I started to feel a burning in my back, like in my rib cage, around the back in between the two shoulder blades. So I told him to loosen my bra. And was one big joke about how the llama burned me till it all reached around my back. Then I felt an urgent need to go to the bathroom. When I went to the bathroom, the burning got worse. I realized that my hand was numb. So I was holding up my right hand in the air, and I realized I couldn't do anything. The burning was bad. I couldn't breathe. I felt like I couldn't breathe. So I said, you know what, let me try and reach them. So I pulled up halfway and kind of dragged myself along the corridor to the doorway where my friends were at, and I said, hospital. Cut the long story short is that I had a major heart attack, and they sent my blood samples down to check what they call the troponin levels, which is what tells you what is happening with your heart. And they said it was high, so I had to go up to the university hospital. Luckily, my brother was there at the time. He works in the MRI unit, or worked in the MRI unit, and facilitated them to give me some fast attention.
Health experts say family history is one of the key factors in heart disease. Consultant cardiologist Dr. Lisa Hurler-Clark explains more about this connection.
90% of patients with hypertension are what we call primary hypertension, meaning that there's no real reason for it is most likely family history, and maybe 10% are what we call secondary hypertension, meaning that we have a cause, for example, kidney problems or a blood vessel problem that caused the blood pressure to be elevated. So that 10% is a small number of patients with hypertension. So the majority of patients with hypertension in Jamaica, it will be because of genetics, family history.
I knew my mother had heart problems. I knew my grandmother had heart problems, but never in my wildest dreams did I think that this would have happened to me.
Having survived the heart attack, Rose's journey to recovery began, and with the support of her devoted family and her medical team, she made the necessary lifestyle changes that would see her on her way to recovery.
And I started physiotherapy, and I went to the gym, and I started doing gym work, and I started the fight back. And by March, I was able to go and do a very first presentation. I think it was a workshop, an actor's workshop. And by the end of that year, I did a one-woman show, The Maryland Story. Opening night was 3 hours on stage, me won. Doing The Maryland Story. So I'm saying all of this to say that not because you have a heart attack, not because you have been faced with any kind of medical crisis, it means that you give up on yourself. You need to find out what is the road to recovery, and you need to work on that. So I changed my diet, I stopped eating meat. You know, people say vegetarian diet boring. Well, me decide me go and find all kind of exciting ways to make the food nice because me love food. And yeah, it has just been just an awesome time of self-discovery, of recovery, of realization, of even aligning myself a lot more spiritually, because I do think that God saved me for something, you know? He saved me for something, because I came that close.
Rose's story is a powerful one, showing that heart health awareness, family history, and a healthy lifestyle can make a difference. If you or someone you love is at risk, now is the time to act.
Persons should visit their doctor 2 to 3 times per year to have their blood pressure checked. Right? And if they have a family history of hypertension, you may want to go more frequently, or you may want to start getting measured earlier than that.
According to the Jamaica Public Service Company, the average cost of electricity is $65 per kilowatt hour. Now, the television, it's a comfort appliance for many households, but if left on for long periods, it can quietly drive up your electricity bill. A 35-inch LCD LED TV used for 12 hours a day consumes about 29 kilowatt hours. That's roughly $1,885 per month. A 35-inch plasma TV used the same way eats up 66 kilowatt hours monthly, costing you about $3,960. And for those bigger screens, a 50-inch LCD LED TV on for 12 hours daily costs around $3,510 per month. But a 50-inch plasma TV, that'll burn through 108 kilowatt hours, costing a whopping $7,020 per month just to keep it on. For our energy tip, turn off your TV when not in use and consider switching to energy-efficient models like LED TVs. Every hour saved adds up on your bill.
Every second counts in cardiac arrest, and one vital skill can mean the difference between life and death. That skill is cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or CPR. As the Heart Foundation of Jamaica concludes CPR Week, its emergency cardiac care program is showing us how to perform this life-saving technique. So grab your notebook and pay close attention.
Everyone clear. Press flashing button.
Clear everybody, I'm clear, you're clear.
Shock delivered.
Most emergency happen at home, so you're not really in an hospital. So knowing what to do will enhance the chances of saving life. So CPR is very, very, very important to start immediately. So once somebody collapses, the first step you must ensure the scene is safe. Now, depending on where you are, let's say it's in an office space, just by moving a chair, moving a table, you can make the scene safe. Now, once the scene is safe, the next step is to check for responsiveness. And checking for responsiveness, you're tapping the shoulder of the person, so you tap and shout, are you okay, are you okay? Now, once you tap and shout and the person is not moving, they're not talking, they're unresponsive. Once they're unresponsive, the next step is to shout for help. Now, you shout now loud for help because CPR is a long and tiring process. And you don't want to start CPR and nobody knows that you're there performing CPR. So you shout for help, somebody answer your call, and they say they've soon reached you. They're not there as yet. In that time, you should be checking for breathing. So you check for rise and fall of the chest and check for breathing simultaneously. Are you doing that for at least 5 seconds, no more than 10 seconds? Once help now arrive, you would then tell them to call the response team and get an AED machine. Christina, call the response team and get an AED machine. Now, the AED machine is a device used to analyze and detect that abnormal rhythm of the heart. And that's where the AED machine comes in. Most persons will say call the police just in case of an emergency. But what we would teach you is to call the firefighters, because the firefighters are trained in first aid and they're trained in CPR. Now, let's say they don't bring the AED machine to you as yet. You then start giving compressions. Now, compressions is where you're compressing at the center of the chest, lower half of the breastbone. You're going at a depth of at least 2 inches or 5 centimeters. The rate is important. So you're going at a rate of 100 to 120 compressions per minute. You're giving 30 compressions followed by 2 breaths. And you're doing that for 5 cycles. So 30 compressions, 2 breaths, that's 1 cycle. 30 compressions, 2 breaths, that's 2. And you're doing that for 5 cycles, which equal to 2 minutes of CPR. And then follow, you will give 2 breaths, which 1 breath lasts for 1 second. You're giving 2 breaths. Now, to know that your breaths are effective, you must see the rise and fall of the chest. And once the chest rise and fall, your breaths were effective, and then you go back to giving compressions. And that's CPR in a nutshell. Every second count in cardiac arrest. Now, that theme is I think it's very fitting, because you don't want to waste any time. Immediate care enhances the chance of survival, save life. And you don't want to delay help. So once you recognize the emergency, recognize someone has collapsed, you know immediately you want to start CPR.
The following is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
We estimate that there are about 20 to 25,000 who are unemployed because they do not have any skill. They are a loss to our economy. And we have tasked Heart to find these 25,000. Go out into the communities, put on your training fairs, have specific agents out there doing your reconnaissance and surveillance and finding these youngsters. Get them into your training program. Offer them stipends and bus fare and lunch money. But more than that, what they need mentoring. Because oftentimes they simply do not know about the opportunities that exist. They exist on the periphery of the system, and they are skeptical of the system, and they don't believe that the system is set up for them. Your country needs you.
Be smart. choose heart.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
The future of healthcare is unfolding. With the implementation of electronic health records, Jamaica is transforming how patient information is managed, making our system smarter, faster, and more connected.
The digital transformation of Jamaica's public health sector is progressing, and a key component is the implementation of an electronic health record EHR system.
Electronic health record system, System 1, or SI for short. When the patient comes for registration process, we would input the data on S1, and then this data will come around to wherever the doctor is or the nurse is. So they do not need to be waiting on health records to go and retrieve the paper record to bring to them. And if the patient comes with any investigation with the blood results, X-ray, any form of laboratory results or any external result, we would upload those at the time of registration. So when they come to the doctor and the nurse, the information is readily available.
Doctors will be able to see diagnostic scans on their computers and tablets remotely.
Right, and it also allows multiple persons to be retrieving the data simultaneously, or we can do data entry simultaneously.
You can actually measure time from arrival to time of triage, and thereafter every interaction with every member of staff is actually timed. So it is good for tracking, whereas the previous system, if the doctor or the nurse never actually wrote the time that they were seeing, it doesn't get tracked as easily.
It's a shift from paper-based health records management that is allowing improved patient care coordination, enhanced data accuracy, and better decision-making by medical personnel.
The names come up on the system, and as they are seen, there's a color change, so you know which one is seen by the nurse, which one is already seen by the doctor, which one is discharged. So each one of those, if there's no color change, you know that person has not yet been seen. So in terms of efficiency, that's excellent.
The EHR is being implemented by the Ministry of Health as part of the Health Systems Strengthening Project, valued at over $5 million. The EHR allows for not just patient registration, but also appointment scheduling and patient assignment in the triage process.
I know that for the outpatients department, definitely throughput is much faster, and the chance of people getting missed or neglected in the clinic is almost nil now.
The system, which is intended to go island-wide, is being initially rolled out in 13 health facilities over an 18-month period. Maypen Hospital was the first to operationalize the electronic health record system.
The reason why we were the first, I think, is because we were the most ready to receive and accept such a new system.
The first phase rollout will also include the Chapelton, Spanish Town, and St. Anne's Bay hospitals, as well as the Maypen West, Maypen East, and St. Jago health centers.
A patient arrived in the accident and emergency department and wasn't able to give adequate information. This patient was just being treated next door by the St. Jago Park Health Center, and we were able to pull up that information and to continue care. And so we are at a good place in public health. We are exciting, and I'm sure that the patient will get timely medical care.
As a nurse in charge of the labor ward, for me, I have my 24-hour reports on a daily basis, and I am able to get the information at the end of the day for each client. Easy accessible, one click away.
The island-wide rollout will network more than 2,000 computers and 400+ medical-grade tablets that provide universal access to medical records. The electronic health record platform is based on the philosophy of one patient, one record, and is part of the plan for improving efficiency in access to medical services.
And what that means is that whatever data that is inputted concerning the patient when they come to see a doctor at a health center or hospital in this case, that data is pulled up based on their unique identification number. And you immediately know the history of the patient, and therefore all the factors that may influence a treatment regime in a much quicker way.
With EHR, there is no challenge with locating your health records, and so care is timely and on point.
Data for the EHR is stored securely on multiple servers, and only authorized persons are allowed access.
The confidentiality of the patient's record is actually critical. So it's not like anybody can get anybody's record at any time. There has to be special permission from the medical records department to actually release the notes. And then that's the only way we can access it.
The system is expected to accrue significant savings of time and cost on tests that won't have to be repeated. The data generated will also assist in the formulation of better evidence-based policy making and program design by the government.
Regarding the staff, if you ask any of them if they want to go back to the paper system, you get a resounding no. They do not want to go back to the paper system.
This message is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Do you have the financing to support a long-term investment program in water? And the answer to that is yes, because we have managed the economy in such a way as to be able to do that. We deliberately make a point of every week either breaking ground, handing over, turning on, not announcing, because it shows you the track record of delivery. So you can have faith in that yes, you don't have it now, but there is a program in place backed by good fiscal management so that it can project the revenues into the future to support the future project. And that's what you want. You want government policy with endurance.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
On the board this week, Rota Olympic Sports Community Club presents the hilarious stage play The Stone That the Builder Refused. Join us Sunday, August 24, 2025 at the Old Harbour Baptist Church in St. Catherine. Showtime 7 p.m. Your support will help transport 2 fire trucks and equipment donated by the government of the United Kingdom to Jamaica. Admission is $2,500. Group rates are also available. For details, call 876-547-1831 or email oursportscom@gmail.com. Attention PATH beneficiaries. The August 2025 payment cycle runs between August 19 and September 2. Collect on the date assigned to your surname. If you miss it, final collection days are September 4 and 5. Visit your post office or payment agency with a valid government ID and a TRN. For more info, call 876-922-8000-13 or visit www.mlss.gov.jm. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining reminds beekeepers to register their hives and secure permits for transporting bees. Services are available at the Apiculture Unit, Bodle's Research Station in St. Catherine. Visit www.moa.gov.jm or contact the Ministry's Customer Service Branch for details. And that's all for our community notices this Saturday. If you have a community event to share on our notice board, give us a call at 876-922-8680 or email jatkinson@jis.gov.jm.
As we wrap up today's edition of Jamaica Magazine, we hope you found these features informative and engaging. Let's stay connected through our website, jis.gov.jm, and on social media. On behalf of the production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Have a great weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.